Welcome to our pig farm training video course. We are going to be looking at various aspects of pig farming. The objective of our pig farming training course is to be able to help both existing pig farmers, the newbies into the business, and those that have intentions to go into pig farming, and for those that would love to learn about pig farming. Basically, this training covers various aspects of pig farming, and it is a very general guide for everyone to be able to understand the details from the setup of a pig farm to various activities up to the continuous day-to-day running of the farm to ensure success and progress on the farm. There are various sections that we'll be looking at for our pig farm training in this course. I am Igwe Tochukwu Paul, the CEO of Green Farms. I've been into pig farming for a while and I've been able to be exposed to various aspects of pig farming. And with my experience and knowledge, I have put together this training course to guide various pig farmers in their continuous journey through pig farming to ensure success and profitability. Because I believe in pig farming, and in every business we do, we should always look at profit and be able to follow standards to give best results. So here are the sessions for this course and training. The first one is introduction to the course. The second one is introduction to pig farming. We'll be looking at what pig farming is all about, the advantages, why we should go into pig farming, basic terms and technologies to be used in the course of the journey of pig farming. Also, the various types of pig farming system and types of pig farming. Then we'll be looking at pig housing and farm structures, which is the third section. In this aspect, we'll be looking at how to locate our farms, how to build our farms, and the various types of housing systems we have for pigs, looking at the deep litter system, looking at the concrete floor, the plastic floor, and other types of housing system we have for the pigs, and other farm structures like the farm offices, the farm houses, and every other thing that entails structures that will be able to ensure the comfort of our pigs and our pig staffs on the farm. Then the fourth session will be pig management, care, and reproduction. In this aspect, we'll be looking at how we manage our pig farm from the various breeds of pigs we have down to how we manage reproduction, the care of our pigs from being weaners up till they start reproducing, and various activities. We look at various breeding systems in pig farming. We look at different types of mating, natural mating, artificial insemination, and the rest of them. Then daily activities that are to be carried out on a pig farm. Then the fifth section, we'll be looking at pig farm equipment and pig farm wares. These farm wares are basically, we're looking at the wares that we're going to be using on our farm, like our boots, our farm coats, and the rest of them. They'll be looking at various pig farm equipment, like the water system, the nipple drinkers, the teeth clipper pliers, and the rest of them. We'll be looking at them for identification, for medication, different equipment that are used even for feeding, for water, and the rest of them on the farm. That is what the fifth session will be looking at. Then the sixth section of our training course will be looking at pig identification, record keeping. In this part, we'll be looking at how to identify our pigs through ear permanent ways or temporary ways. The temporary ways like the ear tagging, then the permanent way like ear nogging and tattoo system. These are going to be put in place. Then we're going to be looking at various records that are to be kept on our farm, like the feed record, also the birth record. We're looking at the sow record, the weaning record, and the rest of them, the mating record, and other records we keep on our farm to ensure best results. Then the seventh session, we'll be looking at restraining and transporting pigs. Here we'll be looking at how to restrain these pigs, be able to hold our pigs one place for medication, for treatment, for other activities like surgery, and also for transporting this animal, because they have to be restrained before they can be transported. Then how the best practices to put in place while transporting pigs. Then the eighth session will be looking at measurements and scaling of pigs. Here, because for you to be able to give medication, for you to be able to sell your pigs, and for you to be able to understand the performance of your pigs, you need to be able to do proper measurement and scaling of your pigs. So that is what we'll be looking at in the eighth session. Then in the ninth session, we'll be looking at biosecurity and hygiene. It is very key that on our pig farm and for the success and the health of your animals, you have to be able to keep biosecurity and hygiene in place. So we're going to be looking at various biosecurity, from the fence of coming into your farm, the hand biosecurity, the food biosecurity, even the wear biosecurity, the transportation biosecurity, best kind of disinfectant to be used on your farm, how to wash your pig farm properly. Those are what is being entailed in our biosecurity and hygiene section. Then we'll be looking at the 10th section, which is pig nutrition. Pig nutrition is very key because for you to be able to run any pig farm, 60 to 70% of the expenses that are run on your pig farm is attributed to feeding. So we are going to be looking at various feed formulas here, various classes of food for pigs and their byproducts and the rest of them in this course. We're going to be looking at how to formulate our feed, practicals on all this, on how to formulate our feed and how to ensure that we give the right quantity and right nutritional requirements for each categories of pigs and the quantity of both water and feed that they require daily. The 11th session for our pig farm training course, which is pig health management. It is very important to look at your health management because one of those key aspects when it comes into pig farming. So we're going to be looking at in depth with our veterinary doctor, which is going to handle most part of that section. We're going to be looking at how to manage the health of both winners on the farm, looking at piglet management. We're going to also be looking at the sow management, the boar management, and how pigs, different common diseases in pigs, how they can be handled and prevented on your pig farm. Also, we are going to be looking at various activities like teeth clipping. We are going to be looking at tail docking. We are also going to be looking at castration in this session of our video. We are going to be looking at various medications that are being used on a pig farm and areas how are medications being administered, both orally, through our feed, water, or even injectables. So all these are going to be entailed in this session of the course. We will be looking at marketing in pig farming because for us to be able to farm our products, we have to be able to know what products to produce in our pig farm based on our environment and anywhere we find ourselves in the world, because not every product can be marketed, not every pig farm product can be marketed everywhere in the world. There are some areas in the world that prefer live pigs. There are some that prefer processed already. So it depends on your environment and what your environment needs and entail. That is what will be able to determine the marketing strategy you are going to be using both online and physically in your environment. Then the 13th session will be looking at business profitability analysis of pig farming. Here we'll be looking at, for us to be able to say that we are doing pig farming business, we have to be able to understand what they call profit, loss, and break-even point. So in this session, we'll be looking at how we can be able to make profit on a pig farm and how to run our pig farm business successfully. What are the costs of running the first year startup for a startup pig farm? What are the intended costs that we're needing? We are looking at buying, getting the structure, either you are building your structure or you are renting, or various activities that are going to do your farm vehicle, your farmhouse structure. What are the costs of producing today, your normal feed costs and other day-to-day running activities like your veterinary care and the rest of them. You should be able to look at it very well and be able to understand how all these activities work and know how to make profit for the first year, the second year, even the third year of the financial analysis for each of these. Then for the 14th section, we'll be looking at insurance and loan. Here I'm going to be looking at, because for a business to expand, most times we need to look at loans and we need to be able to take up insurance for us so that in case there is an unforeseen risk or event, this insurance company comes into play to help us identify for our loss that has been made already. So it is good and key for us to be able to understand insurance, which is being given in details of what insurance is and various examples given of how our claims are to be paid and how we are going to be remunerated if there is a loss on the farm. Then our loan, to how to assess loan and why we need loan and how to be able to utilize loan to get best results. Then we'll be looking at the last session, which is pork processing. Pork processing indeed is very, very key for every pig farm to be able to handle. So for you to be able to produce your pork, then it needs to be processed. Even though you're not going to processing, or you would love to just even focus on processing alone and not going into the whole activities of pig farming, this session helps you to deal with the whole of that. So after looking at our various sessions, this shows you that there's so much for us to benefit from this our pig farm training video. This is a course that I've taken out my time from my years of experience into pig farming to be able to understand the various activities, the various steps and various key aspects that will be able to lead to profitability on your pig farm for for you to be able to have successful pig farm. Because at the end of the day, what is key in running every pig farm is being able to have, if you are going into breeding, having very good litter sizes and having very good winning records, and being able to give out these things, sell them out, and be able to get the best record. If you are going into fattening, then you should be able to have your pigs performing very well. Within a short period of time, your animals should be able to give a targeted weight for themselves. So anywhere you are in the world and you are seeing this course is just a guide on how to go into pig farming. I believe with this course you'll be able to be a pro in pig farming, because after going through each of this session at your own pace, you don't have to be in a rush. Take out your time and go through each of this session. Try to understand it, try to practicalize it on your farm, and try to be able to understand what each of these steps entails. This will be able to guide us and help us to run this course. You can always ask your questions and reach out to us for us to be able to help you with our support team to give you the best, so that at the end of the day, while you're going into pig farming, you'll be able to have the best result and have a wonderful pig farm.